I've been a park ranger in the Appalachian Mountains for 6 years. People think the hardest part of the job is rescue missions or dealing with wildlife. It's not. The hardest part is the plain black binder they hand you on your first night. Page 1 explicitly states, Rule number 7, if you hear a familiar voice calling your name deep in the brush past midnight, do not answer. Do not look back. Run. I thought it was an initiation joke until last Tuesday, around 1:15 a.m., during a solo patrol near Ridge Trail. Sarah, over here, girl, I fell. It was my sister's voice. Exact pitch, exact laugh. The problem. My sister lives in Chicago and hasn't stepped foot in a forest in 5 years. My skin went cold. I raised my flashlight toward the tree line. Standing behind an old oak tree was a shape. It was tall way to talon, its limbs bent at impossible angles. My thumb hovered over my radio. I wanted to call base, but rule number 3 popped into my head. The entities use radio frequencies to pinpoint your exact location. I stepped back slowly. The thing behind the tree didn't walk, it glided closer, keeping its face hidden in the shadows. And then it spoke again, but this time, its voice glitched mid-sentence, changing into my mother's voice. Then my own voice repeating words I said 3 days ago. I fell. Over here, girl. It was mimicking every sound it had ever stolen. I turned and sprinted toward the ranger station. I could hear heavy, uneven thuds hitting the dirt behind me like something heavy being dragged at terrifying speeds. I hit the wooden porch of the cabin, slammed the reinforced door, and bolted every deadbolt. I crouched under the desk, holding my breath. For 2 straight hours, something tapped rhythmically on the glass window, knock, 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 and a voice outside whispered through the keyhole using my exact voice. Rule number 7, you broke it. My heart was hammering against my ribs so hard I was terrified the thing outside could hear it. I stayed frozen under that wooden desk, flashlight pressed tight against my chest to kill any light. Outside, the tapping stopped, but then came a slow, agonizing scraping sound right against the bottom of the heavy oak door. I looked down through the dark. A thin white piece of paper was slowly being pushed underneath the door from the outside. My hands shook as I reached out and pulled it toward me. In the dim glow of my phone screen, I read the ink. It was written in precise, frantic handwriting, my exact handwriting. It said, Rule number 8, it doesn't just copy your voice, it copies your mind. A cold sweat broke out across my neck. Before I could process the words, the entire ranger cabin shuddered. The heavy glass window behind my desk didn't just shatter, it burst inward with a deafening crash, showering the room in sharp fragments. Cold mountain air rushed in, smelling heavily of damp earth and decayed wood. I squeezed my eyes shut, holding my breath, refusing to make a sound. Heavy, dragging steps crossed the wooden floorboards, stopping right next to the desk where I was hiding. I could feel an unnatural, freezing chill radiating off whatever was standing above me. Then, a long, pale hand with unnaturally elongated fingers reached down slowly into the shadow under the desk. I pressed my body against the back wall, biting my lip until it bled to keep from screaming. The creature's fingers brushed the tip of my ranger boot, paused, and then, suddenly, the station radio on the desk above me buzzed to life with loud, piercing static. A distorted voice came through the speaker, my radio dispatcher's voice saying, "Ranger Sarah, report to Ridge Trail immediately." The heavy footsteps turned and slowly dragged themselves back toward the broken window. Then silence, complete, dead silence. It's morning now. The sun is up, casting long orange rays through the shattered glass. I'm still sitting under this desk with my gun drawn. The woods outside look normal, but my radio hasn't stopped buzzing. Every 10 minutes, my own voice broadcasts over the frequency, repeating over and over, "I'm trapped at Ridge Trail. Somebody help me." If you ever come to the Appalachian Mountains and hear a ranger begging for help, keep walking, because I'm still sitting right here.